Hello everybody, this is Susan with Susan Monroe Art, and I have received a request from my friend Melissa to do a little tutorial about color mixing and how to get the colors you want for your watercolors, and I thought that was a great idea. So I'm going to show y'all how to make a color chart that shows you exactly what colors you can get out of the palette that you have. And today I'm going to be using my adorable and lovely little Winsor & Newton travel palette. I love this little thing. And these are half pans of watercolor, all Winsor & Newton, of course. So you're going to need your palette. The other thing you're going to need is a sheet of watercolor paper. You're going to need some tape to tape the paper down with, and your paper towel for painting, to blot your paintbrush. You're going to need a ruler and a pencil to draw your grid. And you're also going to need 2 jars or cups of clear water. One, you rinse your brush when it's dirty, then you'll give it a second rinse in the cleaner water, and that way you won't muddy your colors in your palette. It is a life-changing experience once you learn that. So as you can see, I decided not to bore y'all to tears by making you sit there and watch me draw a grid. I think everybody knows how to draw a grid. So let me just tell you what I did. I counted how many colors I have. I have 14 colors in this set. So I made 14 half-inch squares. You can make whatever size square you want, but that's what fit on my paper. And then I labeled each line according to what color will go there. So of course lemon yellow, and then you have to do it on the other one too. Lemon yellow is a grid just like you used to do in math class, X and Y. I was terrible at those, but cadmium yellow, ultramarine blue, ultramarine blue. You get the idea. You're going to write the names of your colors across the side and across the top or the bottom of your grid once you have it made. You're going to have a column or a row for each color that you have. All right. Then we're going to get to the color mixing. You can see lemon yellow and lemon yellow. In this square, all I'm going to have is lemon yellow. Cadmium yellow, cadmium yellow. In this square, all I'll have is cadmium yellow. I'm mixing the colors as they cross on the grid, which means that down the center of the grid, down this sort of central line, I will have just the pure color without mixing with anything else. All right, so that's sort of a dividing line. And what I'm going to do with this color chart, this mixing chart, is I'm going to mix the colors in their strongest form up here, then in a weaker form, a lighter form with more water down here on this one. Because you can see each color crosses the other color twice on this chart. So ultramarine blue crosses burnt sienna right here. Down here, burnt sienna also crosses ultramarine blue. Where is it? Right here. So you have 2 squares for that. That means you can experiment with 2 different ways to do each paint. Cadmium yellow and lemon yellow meet here. Cadmium yellow and lemon yellow also meet here. So one will be dark, one will be light. All right, I hope that makes sense to y'all. There are a lot of different ways that you could do this chart. On the dividing line, one side could be more of the color that is in the top row. Say I have more, I'm mixing Purple Lake and lemon yellow, let's pretend. Up here, I would mix those 2 colors. I might have more Purple Lake and less lemon yellow. Over on this side, I'd have more lemon yellow and less Purple Lake. It's just to see the different variations I get depending on which color I add more of. But as I said, we are going to do more of an intensity chart. I'm going to mix the colors that they're most intense in the top half, less intense on the lower half. Another type of chart you could do would be a glazing chart. And this is a just really quick example I did where I put different colors across. Then I run the colors this way so they cross each other, and I can see what color each one gets when they are glazed over the other. When the cadmium red glazes over the ultramarine blue, I get this. You can also do a palette chart where I might just take every color in my palette and make a square and put each color in there just so I know exactly what each color in my palette looks like. So as I said, there are lots of different color charts you can do. This is a mixing chart though. And I am going to start by putting a dot of each color in its pure form beside its name. All right, so let's get busy doing that. And the brush I'm using today is a Princeton number 4 round brush. I really like Princeton brushes. And I'll need my my paper towel for dabbing off extra paint. So let's get going. Here's the lemon yellow. Just gonna put a dot of it right there. All right. And I think I didn't have enough room for a dot up here, but I would like the color on this side, so I think I'm gonna do a line. Let's mix it up. A line. All right. I'm going to do that all the way down my chart. Something I want to mention to you is something I probably should have done is put my colors in order of the rainbow: red, blue, yellow, green. Oh gosh, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And I did not do that in this. I put them in the order that they are in my palette, which is another option you have. But a lot of the time they put them in order of the rainbow. So you can do that if you want. There we go. I've got all of my colors in order on my graph. I just think I love the way it looks. I love organized things. I love doing this because you'll be amazed at the colors that you can make once you start mixing things that you wouldn't have thought of mixing before. So I'm going to let this dry. Then we're going to get on to the fun part, which is mixing the colors together. Okay, these colors have dried, and you can see that I've already begun my grid. This square, lemon yellow, met lemon yellow, so that's pure lemon yellow. Then I worked the grid down this way, cadmium yellow, met cadmium yellow. This is pure cadmium yellow. This is cadmium yellow mixed with lemon yellow, full strength. This is cadmium yellow mixed with lemon yellow and a lighter strength. So let's go do the ultramarine blue square. Right, ultramarine blue, ultramarine blue. There we go. That square is pure ultramarine blue. Now I'm going to mix ultramarine blue with cadmium yellow. Ultramarine blue with cadmium yellow. This will be full strength up here, and I've already mixed it. I tried to mix them equal amounts with cadmium yellow and the blue, and yeah, we get that color, which will never be my favorite color, I'm pretty sure. And we'll lighten it. I want to double check I'm putting it in the right spot. Cadmium yellow, ultramarine blue, in a lighter form right here. Okay. Probably could do that even lighter. Right. Then cadmium blue, lemon yellow, cadmium blue, and lemon yellow. Okay, cadmium blue, lemon yellow. Full strength here. Makes a very nice green. And then lighter over here, of course. So you can see how this is going to work. I'm going to just keep working the grid all the way down to this corner. And when I'm done, I will see what every color looks like when it's mixed with every other color. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you through the whole thing, but I'm going to go ahead and get to work, and I'll speed this up when I'm done, and you can watch it in super fast time. Here I go. And there it is, the completed color chart, looking beautiful and organized. In real time, this probably took me an hour and 20 minutes to do, but sped up for y'all. It only took 3 minutes, which was delightful. So now you might be wondering, all right, I've made this color chart and I know all about mixing these colors. I wanted to also show you how I use my color chart. And to use my color chart, I made this little doodad, sorry, it goes like this, the white side, out of some 300-pound watercolor paper. You could make it out of whatever you want, but it does have to be white paper. And I have a hard time sometimes in separating a color out. If it's next to another color, say a shadow changes from one tone to the next. And sometimes, for me anyway, it's just hard to actually figure out what that color is. And I use this little doohickey to isolate colors. I have a little one for little hole for little spots of color, a big hole for big spots of colors. I just cut these with an X-Acto knife, and let me give you an example of how I use it. I am painting a picture of these yellow flowers right now. Let me move that back. Yellow is very hard for me to paint. I just have the hardest time getting the shadows the right colors and everything. So what I'll do is I'll take my little color finder, and I would put it like right over, here's a shadow spot. What color do I really want that shadow spot? All right, Now I've isolated that color. I'm looking at it through the window, and I can come over to my color chart, say, okay, I see that color. What color does that correspond to over here? Sometimes it's hard to find it. Sometimes it's easy to find it. I mean, this color really corresponds sort of to the almost like the yellow ochre and cadmium yellow. I would keep looking on this, but somewhere in that family. Say I want to look at the yellow in this petal. What yellow should I use for that? Well, that's the same as the cadmium yellow and lemon yellow mixture that is put on very lightly. Great, I'll get to that. What about this section in the middle? This, that dark area. Number one, when I separate it like this, I can see it is really dark. I'm gonna have to paint that really, really dark when I'm working in my paints. What color would correspond with that? I'm looking over at my chart. I would say, look, it's a really, really dark, almost something like this color might correspond to it. And then I can see, or even darker, this. If I darkened that, put several coats, I think it would be this color. And look, that color is made out of sap green and purple lake. I would have never thought to add those two colors to get that, but it works. I think I could strengthen that and I'd have the same color as this dark center of this flower. So that's how I use my color charts. When I'm working from a photo, I've made my little color finder. I isolate the color in the little window. Then I go to my color chart. So what matches that most closely? If it doesn't match exactly, well, what color do I think I could add to it? What third color might I add to it to tone it down or bring it up? But this gives me a good starting place. Sometimes it's an exact match. Like I said, sometimes it needs a little touch of something. But it's really been a huge, huge help for me in matching the colors in my paintings with my subject. So there we go. And just to point out a little bit more how this works, let's scoot this in a little bit. Cadmium red hue, right here. Cadmium red hue. I'm going to go down, all right, and cadmium red hue. Here is the undiluted total cadmium red hue window. All the bold colors of cadmium red hue are going to come down to that window, and then look, here's the other one, and over. Here are all the colors I can make, or just a good representation of the colors I can make using cadmium red hue at its strongest. Here are the lighter colors I could make using cadmium red hue. I mean, it's amazing how many colors you can make. And this is just the beginning. As I said, you can do more color charts. You can do, what happens if you add a third color. I don't know how you do a color chart for that, but it would at least get you going. It gets you thinking and gets you experimenting with your colors. So, and it looks really cool when you hang it on your wall, and you feel like a real official artist when you have one of these. So go make yourself a color chart. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this. I try to have a tutorial every 2 weeks to help y'all out. Ask me any questions that you want. I love to respond to those. And thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.